shift to the Giants because I want to talk about the Giants a little bit. How do you think the Giants have built around Daniel Jones? I think personally this year, he's really got no excuses. He's got really good wide receivers, Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney. His other wide receivers hopefully are going to be healthy this year. Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley comes back this year. The offensive line should be improved. You've got a pretty good defense. You've got a good head coach in Joe Judge. I know Giants fans want to make excuses for Daniel Jones about how when he was drafted, the offensive line was bad, the wide receivers were bad, the coaching staff was bad. I get it, and he's made it to this point. Congratulations, Daniel Jones. You made it to this point, but you got to start performing. And eventually, like I said, you might have to pay Daniel Jones a bunch of money if he's your franchise quarterback. So I think he's got to perform pretty well this year, and there's really no excuses. What do you think?
So the rebuttal to what you just said would be, well, look at his stats from his first year. Yeah, there were a ton of fumbles. Danny fumbles, that's where the nickname came from, all of that good jazz. But the guy threw 27 touchdowns in his rookie season. Only 13 interceptions. Like, he was outstanding in a bunch of games, including, one of his first starts against Tampa Bay and a comeback win. Like, he was really good in that rookie season at times. People like myself will point to
by rookie quarterback standards, he passed the test.
Yeah, exactly. So he regressed in year 2. That was the problem for a lot of people, is that he regressed a little bit. There were some games in there that would have been different if he had some more help. They beat the Eagles on a Thursday night.
Up two guys.
If Evan Ingram doesn't drop a third down conversion, they win that game. Like, there's some their season could have been totally different if he had a little bit more help.
And by the way, they were one game away from winning the division. I mean, if Philadelphia beats you guys, then they win the division.
So it's
not like it was because of him, but they were in the mix,
So I think Daniel Jones is a little bit better than people give him credit for. I'm not a massive Daniel Jones fan, but you could do a hell of a lot worse than Daniel Jones. That said, as you mentioned, I said they're the most improved team in the division. So I think that the sky's the limit for the Giants. I love Joe Judge. I said that when he got the job. Listen to his first interview. I said, this guy gets it. And he showed that by his actions during the course of the season, benching Golden Tate for some things that he didn't like and he said. And I just think that they've got the right guy as their head coach. For the first time in a long time, I think Dave Gettleman is actually getting some praise. I'm not a Dave Gettleman guy, but I actually thought he had a strong offseason. And, you get Saquon Barkley back. That feels like another addition of a first-round pick, essentially. This is a team that they have all the tools and all the weapons necessary to do damage this year. We'll just see. My saying has been for the Giants, they got guns and shit. Do they know how to use them is going to be the question. We'll see. But they got all the tools necessary, all the weapons you could ask for. Now, do they have the guy, pulling the trigger in Daniel Jones to get it done?
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, I haven't really dove into all my off-season predictions, but I'm higher on the Giants than most people. I believe they're going to win the division, and like I said, I'm not a huge Daniel Jones fan, but really all he has to be is a game manager. You got Saquon Barkley to hand the ball off to. You got really good wide receivers. Just don't mess it up. And I think that's his biggest problem is that he tries to do a little bit too much. You see the fumbles. You see him holding onto the ball way too long. You see the turnovers. I think a lot of those things will be eliminated this year, hopefully, because he's going to be in the second year of the system with Jason Garrett. More normal offseason. I think the pandemic really shocked a lot of young quarterbacks last year. We saw Haskins. We saw Sam Darnold. We saw Daniel Jones suffer because of the pandemic last year. So I think he'll be improved. And I don't know if he's a long-term guy, but I think that he could potentially buy him some time this year. And if he doesn't work out with these weapons, then, the next quarterback set up pretty well, I should say. But really quickly, Jalen Hurts or Daniel Jones? Who you taking?
Oh, Daniel Jones. That's not close.
Not close? Oh, man. I might have to take Jalen Hurts. I don't know. But I will say Daniel Jones' ability to run the football is underrated. We saw that almost 80-yard touchdown that he had when he fell down for some reason. But, we'll see. We'll see. I think that I'm in wait and see mode with Daniel Jones. Not a huge fan, but I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.